He's a kid from San Diego who's made good, to say the least. Rapper, actor, comedian, director, screenwriter, film producer, entrepreneur, record producer. I don't know if I've missed anything. Oh, yeah, radio and TV personality, and the best color commentator I've ever done a celebrity beach volleyball game with on audience. He is the man who's written, directed, and executive produced King of the Dance Hall. That's on YouTube Red this Wednesday, and also it's season 9 of Wild 'N Out on MTV. Good to see you, Nick Cannon.
Good to see you too, my friend.
So how has that beach volleyball game that we call with Kerry Walsh Jennings sunk in 6 weeks later, Nick?
It was like a whole new career experience for me. I got a bunch of jobs, but I was like, I probably could do this one too. I had a good time out there. Lots of sand though, but it was a good atmosphere.
Yeah, and you really got into it when the Backstreet Boys came up with that big time
the comeback. Backstreet's back, apparently.
Had they been talking about it on any of the streets that you've been on, Nick?
Man, you know what? It was so interesting to see that energy down there. I mean, it was a lot of fun, but people were going. It was like 35-year-old groupies out there, like for the Backstreet Boys, going crazy. So when you grew up in San Diego, did you ever try sports? Did you ever give it a whirl? I've done martial arts all my life, you know. So I mean, I always say you don't play martial arts, but it's definitely something that's a competitive act that, you know, I grew up with and still train to this day.
No kidding.
Yeah. So I do a few different things, but other than that, so because I was so focused on martial arts and obviously entertainment, I didn't really excel at any other sport because most of my day was taken up either, you know, training in the gym, you know, kickboxing.
Yeah, did you ever think about trying MMA or anything like that?
You know what? I was there was such this real spiritual doctrine about martial arts for me that when the world of MMA came around for me, I wasn't really there for it because I was so deep into like kung fu and taekwondo, and then I boxed a little bit. So I'm just now starting to get into it a little bit more because, you know, it's so popular now, but before I was always kind of looking like, oh, well, I do it for spiritual growth and not competition.
So you're doing
the Bruce Lee aspect of it.
Of course. Sort of just your inner,
right.
What, chi? Is that what it pretty much is?
Exactly. That's
what you're working is on your inner chi. Oh, I thought you were going to say you saw the Karate Kid at a young age.
And then I just went in.
That was it. Then you start painting the fence. You're waxing cars.
You know what? Growing up doing martial arts, it was actually not a good thing for me because of stuff like the Karate Kid, because it was like the kid walking through the projects with a karate uniform on. That's that's a target.
Is that what you were doing?
Yeah, they were just, you know, I would get picked on and beat up all the time because, you know, you got a few points for saying you beat up the Karate Kid.
But then again, you would have some sort of way to strike back, one would think.
Yeah, of course, but it's still like, if I always say if the other person isn't doing karate with you, karate's usually no good for like an 8-year-old.
Sure.
Like, somebody's just gonna pounce you in the head with a rock. Like
Nick Cannon here on the Rich Eisen Show studio. So when did you realize that comedy was a way that you could
I was
ahead?
Always one of those kids that just yearned for attention. And it started more with music and in the church, and you know, just really wanting attention. Watching my father, you know, speak in front of congregations and stuff was really intriguing to me. And I knew I would never be a preacher because I was too much of a sinner. So I was like, well, maybe I could, like, you know, entertain people with my humor or with music, and that's kind of how it all opened up, like early on. Like
so who was the inspiration for you on the comedic front?
I mean,
who did you?
I'm an '80s baby, so all things Eddie Murphy.
Eddie Murphy,
you know,
Raw, like Eddie Murphy.
Eddie
Raw.
Murphy, Raw, Delirious. When he was on Saturday Night Live, I would be around the house. I was obviously never allowed to watch or view or listen to any of those things.
I was about to say, if you say that your father was preaching, like Eddie Murphy, Delirious, and Raw would not be acceptable.
It was all bad. So I was like, but I would do all these impersonations, and I would like kind of water down the material for like church audiences, and you know, it kind of worked. It was cute, you know, back then, and then eventually I developed my own material.
So then, what athletes have come up to you, Nick, and said that they enjoy your material? What do you got for me? Which athletes have you come across?
I mean, I've had quite a few of my friends on Wild 'N Out.
Like who?
Obviously, Shaq's been on the show. You know, Chris Paul's been on the show. We still waiting to get a lot of the NFL and MLB guys on there, but we've had Michael Strahan on the show. A lot of fun people. They usually wait until they're like retired to
Sure.
come on, because if we start making fun of them, on Wild 'N Out, then they got to hear about that for quite some time. So it's usually the guys that are like, all right, I know how to take a joke now. So
let's get into this may be the third rail here, Nick, but we're going to go right for
let's
it here.
go for it.
Is Shaq a good rapper?
Ooh, see, this is a debate in the hip hop community.
Please.
It's a real debate.
It's a real debate because this is why this is a real debate, and Shaq is like a family member to me.
Okay, that's why I mentioned third rail. This is
Yeah.
third rail.
Only reason Shaq, I'm a fan. Shaq has platinum albums. I don't. So I have no room to speak on Shaq's music career.
Well, I mean, and you have 5 million Twitter followers, and
Yeah.
Shaq, I don't even know. It might be multiples of that.
Yeah.
But that said, Nick, I mean, you're.
I
mean,
would say, like, numbers don't lie, and he has done some phenomenal things. And like Shaq has recordings with Biggie Smalls and has been on the stages with Jay-Z. Like Shaq he has the credentials.
But do they want to be on the stage with Shaq because of his rapping ability, or they just love Shaq, the basketball player, and
That's
want to be
big
around
Shaq.
him?
But he sold millions of records.
Okay.
Someone likes it. Shaq is probably not just the biggest, but one of the best entertainers we've seen this century. I have to give it to him all the way around. Kazam. Come on, man.
Well, I mean, Kazam was a movie
That's a
about.
good description.
Steel, right? Wasn't he in
No, he was in Blue
Steel?
Chips. He was in Blue Chips too, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was in
Him
Blue
and-
Chips.
Wasn't Petty Hardaway
Petty
on
I'm not
Blue
going to
Chips?
sit here and let you guys ridicule my friend.
No, we love Shaq.
Shaq is an amazing entertainer.
Hey, I played the Fushnikins back then. Can we rock?
Fushnikins.
Come on,
Can we
Can we
rock?
rock?
What's up, Doc? Can we
was
rock?
huge.
Come on.
That was the only line in the song.
I want to take 60 seconds more with Nick Cannon. We'll talk about season 9 of Wild 'N Out, King of
Yes.
the Dance Hall, which again
Yes.
is on YouTube Red this Wednesday. I mean, you got Whoopi Goldberg, Busta Rhymes.
Shaq's not in this one.
No, you sure? Because I was hoping that maybe he'd come right around the
Shaq can
corner.
do dance hall though. We seen him rap. He can probably do some dance hall.
Louis Gossett Jr. is in this, so he's not asking Shaq for his DOR from rapping. That's what you're saying. Okay. We're back in 60 seconds with Nick Cannon here on The Rich Eisen Show. One of the many reasons why I love doing this show is I did not wake up this morning knowing that Nick Cannon was coming into the show today thinking I would be talking about Fushnikins at all. But sometimes life,
happens.
it'll throw you curves.
Absolutely.
As we've been hanging with Nick Cannon here on The Rich Eisen Show. Omar Epps and Patrick Peterson in hour number 3 coming up. You are also a very fashionable individual. You're,
thank you.
You're rocking. What shoes do you have on right there? This
These
is like
would be some glittery Giuseppe's.
glittery Giuseppe's.
Glittery.
Gold.
Golden glittery.
I like it. And it
Nice.
matches the shirt as well
yes,
as
with the
your hat.
the hat, with the fedora.
the fedora you're rocking.
The pocket square has some gold highlights in it. It
in
all
a
comes
window
together.
pane brown suit, the whole
There-
thing,
yeah.
soup to nuts, Nick.
There it is.
So I'd like to show you a picture. If we can put Cam Newton from the
Yeah.
other day. Cameron showed up at his press conference.
Oh.
Wearing
Oh.
that. I think everybody in the radio audience knows what we're looking at. What are your thoughts on Cameron's style right there?
Nice
Nick?
hat. Very nice hat.
Okay, the hat. I mean, what are those shorts? Can you help me out
Those
with that one?
are.
Oh, those swim trunks?
Yeah, I was just like, is he fresh out the locker room or is this was?
Brockman, do we know the circumstances here?
We don't. He just, he obviously had practice, showered
right.
up.
Is that a crop top?
When
as
you're
well?
a man of that stature,
Yes.
you can get away with anything.
Yes, I agree.
If I wore that, I'd look like Urkel.
That's true.
But that man, he still looks manly in that. That
please.
was, that I salute anyone who can make a statement like
I
that.
agree. He's also been wearing jumpers and stuff
The
like
rompers,
that.
Yeah, the
did he
romper.
go
There you go,
romper?
right there. There's
he
the romper.
went romper.
At Coachella
That's
this year.
Coachella, full-on romper.
with pink shoes. And
I think-
I'm a very fashion forward male.
Yes.
I don't know if I would have wore that. That's and he look at the confidence in that man's face.
Man's an
The
MVP
sun
of the
is
national.
like shining on him.
Man's an MVP of the National
Exactly.
Football
He
League.
can wear
Saying,
whatever
"Come
he
at me.
wants.
Come-
I dare someone say something about that romper to his
Yeah,
face.
he's 6'5", 260. No one's telling
Easy.
Cam Newton what to wear.
Easy. And that's why he looks that way. He looks like I will wear whatever the heck I want to wear it.
Now, Russell Westbrook, I believe, won Best Fashion at this year's NBA
Correct.
First Annual NBA Awards
Another
because of
stylish man.
the way that he walks into games. We're showing
There it is.
one of his many outfits right now.
Doesn't give a you-know-what.
I would love to be able to just have that confidence, that swagger,
That's what
that
it is.
look
That's what it
for a
takes to be
day.
an athlete.
For a day. Seriously, not even for a day. Like 5 minutes.
5 minutes. You pull that off.
Well, I guess it's only a mindset, though, Nick, right? I mean,
There it is. I get you some glitter shoes. Get you a romper.
how many pairs of Jordans do you own?
Ooh, Jordans? Man,
You're a collector of this stuff,
Yeah, I
correct?
stopped counting about maybe 15 years ago.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So we're in the hundreds? Are we in four figures?
Because obviously now I have younger brothers and stuff, so I
Sure.
just start to. But the ones that really matter to me, I hold on to them for quite some time. So I have a whole closet dedicated to my Jordans. Like,
Well, you've
I have
desi-
other closets, but then the Jordan closet, you walk in and it's from the first Jordan all the way to the current Jordan.
So what is Jordan? I know you and Jordan have had a relationship on the
Yeah.
shoe front. Like
Yeah,
you designed, right,
Yeah,
for him?
yeah.
What was that like?
I got an opportunity to do my own Wildin' Out Jordan. They haven't even been released yet because
Okay.
we're waiting for season 10. But it's I have the prototypes and it's a dream come true. I mean, like that's like a Oscar or a Grammy for me, is like being able to design one of the shoes I couldn't even afford when I was a kid, but now it's like to be able to be a part of that culture and it's real for me.
If you don't mind me suggesting, Nick, because everything's working for you.
Yes.
All right. I don't. But I'm going to suggest something.
I need
Okay.
suggestions from time to
Here
time.
we go. Because I think this would go viral, as the kids say. Okay. When that shoe comes out. All right. And everybody's going to want a piece
Yes.
of that shoe.
Hopefully they're lining around the block.
You go back to where you grew up.
Yes.
Put on that karate outfit. And walk in with the shoes. And see who's beating who up.
Exactly.
Then.
See if they want it then. Maybe Cam Newton can come join me.
Dress like that.
Dress like that.
You bring, and if you can bring Jordan too.
Right.
And just say, how do you like me now?
How do you like me now? Take it all the way back to the Cool Mo D days.
Right?
Absolutely.
Let's do that.
I love it.
Well, I don't
It
wanna-
will go. That will go viral.
Don't you think?
Absolutely.
Here's me in my old karate outfit.
In my new Jordans,
In your new Jordans that you have designed.
we're wilding out.
Yes, for season 10 of anything is a success, let alone obviously that show.
Absolutely.
How have you enjoyed doing that?
Man, I've loved it. It started off with, it was a silly improv show that I came up with, backstage at a comedy club with me and my friends that no one had ever heard of, by the name of Kevin Hart and Cat Williams and all these guys,
Unbelievable.
years ago. And now, they're household superstars. And for this show to kind of be one of the shows that people were introduced to their comedy as well as many others, for it to still be going strong and be, one of the number one shows, in cable right now is outstanding.
Yeah, and then it's, again, on MTV Thursdays at 11 Eastern Time. And by the way, just want to talk about throwback. I heard Total Request Live is being rebooted
TRL's coming back.
by MTV.
Yeah.
TRL, but Carson's not going to do that, right?
I think he's a little long in the tooth to be requesting live
Long in the
things.
tooth. Yeah, you can go from Total Request Live to the Today Show.
Yeah.
But not,
You can't go back. Can't go.
Unless-
I'm sure he'll come, shake the new host's hand, do that whole thing,
Yeah.
pass the baton.
When was the last time MTV even played a music video?
That's a good question. You know what? I think there's at certain times. I think late at night.
At 3 in the morning when no one's watching?
I'm a student of Viacom, so I know their
Nice.
programming.
Okay, there you
over
go.
Really? You've got a PhD in Viacom.
Yes, I do.
I believe reality killed the video star. In the same way that video killed the
Nice.
radio star.
Well, we'll see
Well
what
done.
this will be because, music consumption is bigger than ever. So however they figure
True
out.
story.
We'll see. Well, hopefully music comes back to MTV in a big way.
There you go. And then as for this film, King of the Dance Hall, which premieres on YouTube Red this
Yes.
Wednesday, you wrote, you directed it. What is the genesis behind this story for you? Is this a personal story in any way, shape,
It
or
is
form?
in many ways. I mean, I took a trip to Kingston, Jamaica, promoting some music and artists that were signed to my label, and I had never been before. And when I got there, I was engulfed in this rich culture and was blown away by the passion. I was like, why hasn't mainstream media ever experienced what's here? Because we see, Beyonce and Rihanna, and they all borrow from this culture. Drake and Justin Bieber and Ed Sheeran have hit dance hall records, but no one knows the story of dance hall. So to be able to share that story and this culture with the rest of the world was what I set out to do. So hopefully we'll be able to do it.
Yeah, and the cast. I mean,
good cast.
Whoopi Goldberg.
Yeah.
How long have you known her?
I've known her for years, and to get the opportunity for her to be my mother on screen was always a dream. So she came in and did me the favor. This was outstanding.
Well, and one Oscar wasn't enough for you.
Yeah,
Louis
2.
Gossett Jr.
Yes.
is in this as well.
Absolutely.
He's a big Clipper guy, by the way.
Yeah. I think he's an athlete too. He's about Cam Newton's size.
Is he really?
He's a big dude.
Would he wear a romper?
I don't think
Gossett
Lou
Jr.?
Gossett Jr. would be in a romper.
But like Cam, you can't tell him not to do that.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
The same way that Cam has an MVP, he's got an Oscar.
Yes.
And we were talking about that the other day, Louis Gossett Jr., because it was the 35th anniversary of Officer and a Gentleman.
Wow.
Last week.
That's one of my favorite films. I mean, like him and Richard Gere together. That was silver screen magic.
I agree.
They call it.
And now he's in a movie of yours.
King of the Dance Hall. I got a chance to direct Lou Gossett Jr. I mean,
how was that? Did you have to?
I mean, I did. I was so focused.
Mr. Gossett?
Yeah, of course, Mr. Gossett, 100%. But I mean, people like that, you give them the character and you just let them do it, and you just make sure the cameras are turned in their direction, and magic usually happens.
Okay. Well, congrats on that and everything else, Nick. I mean,
appreciate it. Thank you for having me, man.
It was great hanging with you in South Florida.
Yeah, I was about to say, from beach volleyball to here today.
Yeah, look at us.
Look at us.
Look at us. And again, we have established that Shaq is a bona fide rapper.
Good rapper. Good. Put the word good in front.
Well,
Give him an adjective.
what about an upgrade? We won't be seeing him in the Defiant Ones Part 2 is what you're saying.
Hey, you never know. Like I said, Shaq's my big brother. I'm going to rock with him. That's another person you're not going to tell him what to do.
He comes on the show. He calls in all the time, and I love him. But
Diesel.
The Diesel, for sure. Nick Cannon, at Nick Cannon on Twitter. And again, check out King of the Dance Hall on YouTube, Red, this Wednesday. And then Season 9 of Wild 'N Out on MTV Thursdays at 11 Eastern Time.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on radio stations across the country and audience.
If you like that video, be sure to download our app, and I'll be sure to help the NFL figure out what a catch is.